Madam Toastmaster, fellow members and honored guests, es un placer estar enfrente de ustedes esta noche. Es un privilegio dar un discurso. It's a pleasure to be in front of you all tonight, and it's a privilege to give a speech. My name is Allie Landreneau. I am not from a Spanish-speaking family, but I loved the Spanish language. Ever since I was a little child, that was my favorite class. I had a professor that used puppets and would have different characters, and I learned different words and vocabulary, and I've always wanted to travel to Spain. In 2004, in college of my sophomore year, I had the opportunity to travel to Madrid. And I landed in the airport, and I got off the plane, and I said to my host family, "I'm nervous, speak slowly." I went to an American school in Madrid, so the challenge of learning Spanish was even greater because the Spaniards that were there spoke English, and there was no reason to speak Spanish. I had a grammar professor that was very strict and very hard, and the Spanish are very blunt. And so he said to me, "I don't think you should be in my class. I don't think you can do the grammar," because it was a high level of grammar. And I said, "That's okay. I'll stay right here. I'll stay right where I am." And I made friends in the city. I read children's books. I went next door to a neighboring university. I interrupted two girls and asked them if they spoke English, and developed a language exchange through music. Not only that, while I was there, I also had the opportunity to teach English as a second language for the first time. I had adults, and I had various working professionals, and I enjoyed developing a language skill. And I watched myself. I was my own little lab rat, so to speak, because children in the park could speak better than I could when I first came. But by the end, I was able to hold a conversation with a native speaker. Fast forward to 2006, I was volunteering in Los Angeles, California at a domestic violence shelter. Because of speaking Spanish, I had the opportunity to teach the women in the shelter life skills. I was 21 or 22 and was the youngest person in the room teaching life skills. But I had the opportunity to teach English as a second language again, and I was able to use my struggles in Spain to relate to them, to connect to them. I remember once when I was in Spain, and I was in a bakery, and they had all these beautiful pastries, and I just really wanted this pastry. It was called an ensaimada, and I couldn't pronounce the word for the life of me. But because of coming in every day after class to this bakery, they got to know me. And I heard somebody behind me say, "What, is she stupid?" And the woman at the counter, because she knew me and she knew where I was from and she knew that I was trying to learn Spanish, said, "No, she's learning Spanish and she's here to study." And she helped me with my order. I had to be humble when I was learning Spanish. I also had to accept my mistakes. I remember meeting someone, and he was very nice and very attractive, and he was going on a trip, and I said, "Buen viejo," which, if you know Spanish, I said, "Nice old man," instead of "Buen viaje," have a good trip. My mistakes taught me, and I was able to use those mistakes in the classroom. And in my class, I had women who had different backgrounds. I had women one woman from Japan was an architect, and she had a nursing degree. And then I had women who had undocumented learning disabilities, excuse me. And so I had a variety of the educational spectrum. But I was able to meet each person where they were at in different ways. Being in Los Angeles, I had the opportunity to go to Little Tokyo, for example, because I had a student from from Japan, and she didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak any Japanese, and so going to little Tokyo, I was in this bookstore, and it's all in Japanese, and I had to ask for help, and finally I found a book that had a mixture of English and Japanese to help her where she was at. And on this journey, I got to see these women progress with their language skills, like I had been able to progress with mine in Spain. I love language and I love culture because of the myriad opportunities that we have to enrich our lives. And so I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to study Spanish and to take the challenges that I've learned in acquiring a new language and to help others with their own linguistic challenges.